one thing, and again, 24 hours later, everybody is still buzzing about the final play of the Lakers-Warriors. By final play, it's the Jordan Poole 28-footer that draws iron. Lakers get the rebound, hit 2 free throws. They take game 1 in a shocking fashion, 117-112. What gets me today was how much the Warriors talked about how they stood by Jordan Poole's final shot in Game 1 being as good as it was. We're happy with the shot. We're happy.
Well, it's a
Steve
clean
Kerr
look,
was happy
though.
with it. Steph Curry says, hey, we got the ball around. He had an open shot. It's how we do it, right? It works in the flow of the game. It's how we do it. Steve Kerr said Steph had to get the ball out. He was double-teamed. He got it out. We had an open shot, right? And the fact that they continue to go by and say, well, this is how it was. This is how we do it. Time out for a second. The more time goes on and I hear this, the more of an epic fail that last play was, right? And forget for a second, not about...
Wait, because they're leaning in. You're going Brad Pitt or Leo with the flamethrower?
No, and this is not because Jordan Poole is the guy taking the last shot, because there's 2 guys on the floor to take the last shot, right? It's Steph and it's Clay. But the Lakers did a great job defensively because they knew where the Warriors were going to go. They did an unbelievable job rotating and defending space, knowing that Draymond's not going to shoot, so you can double team Steph and not have to worry about being so far out of play. The Lakers did an unbelievable job. So the other guy that's going to shoot the ball is Jordan Poole, right? So he gets an open 28-footer, and yes, the Warriors say, we'll take that shot. Come on, that's a load of crap. You'll take that shot if it's Steph or Clay. But if it's Jordan Poole, really, 28-footer? No, they are whistling in the graveyard and just making you think that everything is fine when really that's a big, epic fail. And not only that, it's an epic fail by Steve Kerr, because at this point, you know that Steph can't get his own shot off at the end of a game, right? We talk about this a lot, and oh my God, they hate me in San Francisco and Oakland for this. But that's a thing. Steph Curry at the end of games, he can't get his own shot off. He's not big enough. He's too small. He's not tall enough. He's not physical enough. Other guys get doubled. LeBron gets doubled. Giannis gets doubled. Jason Tatum gets doubled. These guys find a way to get last-second shots off or shots off that are big or get to the free throw line. Steph can't do it. It's why Steph is so great in games when the Warriors can run out to a big lead and he can get around the floor and come off screens and hit threes and hit them from 35 feet out. It's insane. Or when they need a bunch of shots to come back in the game, he can get the shots he needs then. But at close games, in the final 2 minutes, he doesn't get his shots off because he's not big enough. When it comes down to a game-winning shot in the playoffs, teams are going to shut him down. Because they can. You just throw 2 guys at him and you guard Clay and you say, somebody else make a shot. Now, in years past, the Warriors would have a little bit better supporting cast and another guy could make that shot or take that shot. But they don't. You know it's Steph or Clay. Knowing that if you're Steve Kerr, you know what the Lakers are going to do. You had 9 seconds left and 8 seconds left when Jordan Poole takes that shot. You could have Jordan Poole from 28 feet, or if you're Steve Kerr, don't you know by now that that's Steph, that he can't get a shot off at the end? I mean, really, Steph got double-teamed. Why are you putting him in a position to be double-teamed? Let's give him the ball coming up court. Why? Lakers are going to double him. You know that's going to happen. So he becomes an inconsequential player. And suddenly, the best player on the team, Hall of Famer, greatest point guard ever, can't get a shot. He is eliminated from the play. Right? So, again, we're not going to have any greatest point guard ever conversations now. Because
you had that with a very derisive tone right there.
You had it after the 50-point game. We didn't have one after last night. Greatest point guard ever. Can't get a shot off at the end of games. Magic Johnson get a shot off at the end of games. A lot of guys do. He just can't. Right? So if you're going to be fair about Steph Curry when he scores 50 and maybe he's greater, then you got to be fair when you come off a game and physically you can't do it. So you would think, knowing that, Steve Kerr would have been able to say, okay, final play in transition, this is what we want to do. Let's find a way to get the ball to Steph or Clay. And there was plenty of time to do it, and they didn't do it.
Well, but that's the thing we talked about last night as it transpired, is you had a number of timeouts left. Go back through. You took 2 in the fourth, one of which occurred after the Poole miss. You'd taken 1 in the third, 1 in the second, and 1 in the first. You had timeouts left. Drop a play. Figure out how to get a nice screen to get Clay or Steph open. We barked this last night immediately in the aftermath. Now, Jordan Poole, that's what he does. He shoots. He doesn't play defense. Doesn't do a whole lot else on the court. You're paying the guy, and you paid him a contract to be a scorer. So the scorer's mentality, I can't say I fault it. If it was one of your other bigs or somebody else that decided, oh, no, the clock's running out and decides to heave it up, problem. Should he have dribbled a step closer, made it an easier three-point shot? Sure. Might he have gotten closed out on, and now you get yourself in a pickle? Oh, yeah, again, you still have a timeout.
Well, look, they could have called a timeout, right? They could have gone for two. Go in for an easy two, put the Lakers back in the free throw line. LeBron James just missed a free throw. Put him back on the free throw line, call timeout, inbound from half court. You have a chance. There are many things you could have done, and yet the Warriors settled for Steph is doubled. Here's Jordan Poole from 28 feet out. Like, how do you not have a better plan to get the ball to one of your two players? And I get that Steph can't take every shot, but if they're doubling Steph, that means Clay is one-on-one somewhere. Or maybe 1-on-2 because they're not covering Draymond Green. But at least you have something else to try to get the ball to Steph Curry. And looked like he was trying to come around, but that definitely wasn't something drawn up. I mean, you have enough time over the years to know, okay, in transition, when this happens at the end of a game, let's try to do this.
But again,
let's get at the court and try to do something different. And they didn't.
9 seconds. Call the timeout.
You had a lot of things.
You had a lot of options.
A lot of things you could have done.
We tell my kids all the time, between school and how they're working through things, their extracurriculars, whatever. Give yourselves optionality. Give yourself a choose-your-own-adventure as you go. Don't lock yourself down into something that you decide, hey, it's like people when they get into their jobs, and this goes for everybody out there across the nation and listening worldwide on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you're listening to the program. Like, you don't want to go and be miserable at work every day. Give yourself options, right? The second line of income, something that gives you the mental release to find some happiness while lining your pocket, all those things. Here, you had optionality. You draw it up. It's the spidering effect that we talk about whenever we do game react of like, or what could they have done here? And we drew up immediately. All right, screen here, timeout here, do this. Like, where was any of that? Nope. It's turn and fire. Did he lose track that he still had more than 8 seconds remaining? Because it's 9-1 after the rebound.
Think about it from this, right? All right, so we just give you all the different things you could have done, right? You outlined everything like you were Bill Burtka, right? You were on the side. You were outlining everything. But just step away from a second for this.
Yeah.
The Warriors own an image that is better than anybody in sports. The
100%.
Warriors can do no wrong. The Warriors blow games, not the Warriors' fault. Something else happened, right? Never the Warriors' fault. Steph and Clay, unbelievable image. Draymond Green gets forgiven for everything. Steve Kerr is a genius, but
well, according to everybody else, Draymond Green, it's all calculated. That's what he tells us. Of it.
They get forgiven for everything. Everything they get forgiven for. If this was the Lakers at the end and somebody other than LeBron or AD was taking that final shot, it's what the hell is Rui Hachimura taking the final shot for? How do you not have something for LeBron or AD? But that's the case.
Except Austin Reeves, he has a halo now.
Okay, that's true. Yes, Austin Reeves.
MVP.
How do you not look back at this and say, two of the best 50 players of all time, because, Clay thinks he wants to have 50 players. Two of the top 50 players of all time, and it's Jordan Poole taking a 28-footer. How can you tell me that's what you want, and you're okay with that? How you can't?
Because you can't. Well, there's a couple of things. Number one,
you can't tell me that.
Outwardly, you're not going to bury Jordan Poole, because what's been the narrative of this team going all the way back to camp? He got knocked the blank out.
He did.
Right, going all the way back to Draymond taking the swing. So the last thing you want to do when there's been a number of...
At least Draymond passed it to him. So
there's that. Zapruder film, even of the last couple of days, of people trying to figure out when in the sequencing it was when Poole was walking to the bench and he kind of snubbed what Draymond was trying to give him, and Steph walks over, takes the mouthpiece out, doesn't throw it, but stops chewing it for that second to talk to Jordan Poole. We've seen a lot of that. You don't want to build on that narrative, I don't think, at this point, if you're the Warriors. The other is everything's cool. It's one game. Everything's cool. Look at the amount of minutes. Look at the amount of effort that AD and LeBron had to come up with to get this game. We didn't play our A game in any way, shape, or form, but we were still hanging around late, right? Because they started slowly. We talked about it last night. Mark Medina joined us, talking about how the offense, first half, much different run by the Warriors in the second half, and Steph starting to work off screens and starting to heat up a bit. So I think if you're the Warriors, you're trying to say, yeah, it's one game. It's a long series. and we're better conditioned.
Okay.
We have fewer injuries.
Okay.
Hey, look, man, I'm
Okay.
going glass half full.
You lost
You
game
want to
one at
keep
home.
yelling Lakers are back? You do that with Frostburg.
You're 21-4 under Steve Kerr at home, and you just lost game one at home.
But I'm explaining to you why Steve Kerr and company aren't going, yeah, that Jordan Poole shot, that should have never happened. He went rogue on us.
He went rogue.
He went rogue. And when things went bad,
listen.
I'm cutting them loose.
No, I'm not saying you have to sit here and say, Jordan, get out. You never take that again. But the extent with which they went to defend it over the course of the last 24 hours, I mean, come on, man. Just say, hey, he took it. You didn't. Don't sit here and try to convince me that it was great. This was the right thing. It wasn't.
What you really could just say is he missed a shot. We lost the game. Game on.
It wasn't.
And something had to give, right? The Lakers don't lose game ones and best of sevens. The Warriors are, 21-5 now?
If there was no time left and Jordan Poole had to shoot it, okay, to Clay or Steph. You had 8 seconds.
Maybe someone just yelled, shoot it!
Oh, epic fail. Warriors, epic fail.